Hello everyone, my name is Marcello Ishida and I'm here in another chapter of A Day in the Life, today talking about Cisco Meraki Cameras. So let's start. So Marcello is an engineer that works for a global company, and this company operates in different regions and different countries. With that, Marcello has to deal every day with the different technology leads across the globe. Today, the technology security manager called Marcello and asked for help. He wants Marcello to help evaluate the next generation for the existing CFTV solution deployed across the globe in that company. As a first step, Marcello asked him to start listing all the main pain points that this manager sees in terms of the existing solution and what he would like to see if he were to evaluate a next generation CFTV. So the very first pain point he mentioned was about management. With the existing CFTV in a global scale, he's not able to provide a single pane of glass in a centralized management point. So it kind of caused a lot of trouble in terms of the operations. So the second point he mentions is that the existing CFTV has too many Lego pieces, which makes his life much harder in terms of managing all the pieces and parts if he wants to replace because of any kind of damage or any kind of a specific problem. Third point is that it's not easy to operate. He also mentions a very specific situation. It's actually a very common one where he needs to look for images every day for different LLBs, for different technology leads across the globe that asks him for that because any kind of security event that might be happening. It's not very easy to look at that CFTV solution because it does not give you additional features to look more wisely in an intelligent way, and he spent a lot of time his team looking for that image. Once he finds that image, there is the next step, which is even harder sometimes, which is make that image or that video streaming that was recorded available across the globe for whatever or whoever asked that, right? And that makes the operations very hard, spending a lot of time and effort on one thing that's supposed to be very easy. The fourth pain point, and he actually put as on a wish list because he knows with the existing CFTV we cannot have this kind of insights. What he means is that he would like to make use of all the images, all the recorded videos, and put some intelligence on top of that, being able to provide some kind of insights, behavior to whoever owns the business, which actually is a client of him in a daily basis, and actually is the one who pays for that technology to be there. The way it is today, this person only sees the cameras and all the technology as a simple cost because it does not actually add any kind of value on top of that. Okay, that's all before Meraki came in that market to play with his cameras, right? So let me give you some of the good recap on why Meraki brings a totally different view on how to solve not only those situations but much more. So first of all, Meraki is built in simplicity. What it means, with simplicity is that Meraki, you only need one piece of hardware, which is the camera, which comes with storage embedded, comes with all the chipset and all that you need in terms of connectivity. So it has embedded Wi-Fi. You can also connect the cameras to the wired. So you choose what you want. But basically the point is you don't need thousands of different Lego pieces to build your solution. You only need the Meraki camera, and the Meraki camera only needs an internet connection. And that's it. You're all set. Second, once you connect Meraki cameras to the internet, you're going to be configuring and building a Meraki dashboard only for you. And it's completely secure because you have your own username and password to get access to your dashboard, which has your own cameras divided in a logical way that you choose. For instance, if you want to put two cameras and call it site 1, okay, you can put more 3 or 5 cameras and call it 5 site 2. Whatever you need, whatever you want to configure, it's up for you and only available for you, because only you has the username and password access to that area, which is your own dashboard. You can access that dashboard by simply using a web browser. So you can do from your laptop, from your iPad, from your mobile phone, and you just need internet access. It's gonna be there for you. Third point, and one of the main key differentiators for us, is the intelligence part, right? So with all the situation that I mentioned before, with all that data and great available data for you, we call that data today is gold, because if you are able to manipulate and make use of that data, you can use that data and behaviors and everything that comes out of that as an insight to your business and take better decisions. And I will show a couple of some situations here. But before that, I would like to show you some of the intelligence that comes embedded into the Meraki camera. One of those is called motion search. I'm gonna show you in real life in a couple of minutes how it works, but it's basically gives you a better way to find images. If you look at the camera frame and you just choose one specific quadrant, and you ask Meraki camera, hey, on that quadrant, can you show me when you had any kind of movement inside that quadrant? And it's gonna point out in a specific period of time that you can pretty much customize. 1 month ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 hours ago, 2 minutes ago. You can customize and look if there was any kind of movement on that quadrant. And out of that, you can play again that specific quadrant that's gonna bring up. And then you can also share very easily externally through an easy web browser link to whatever you need. Another point that I would like to emphasize is about people, vehicle, and object detection. Meraki is able, with his embedded technology, is able to identify those people, vehicle, and objects. And more than that, he's able to provide an analytics in terms of how many people were in specific camera in a specific period of time, as you can see in this little blue graphic here. I will explore a little bit more in real life in a couple of minutes, so you'll be able to really sees that with your eyes. And the very last topic I'd like to talk about is exactly on the powerful partner ecosystem that I was mentioning in terms of really influencing the business, right? And here in this little example, we build up 2 or 3 cameras in a store, and we start putting some of those data analytics and bring that to life. How we did that was, let's try to measure how many people are there in that store for a period of time, for a week, for a day, for a month. Let me put some thresholds. If you get more than, let's say, 100 people for the last 2 hours, I would like to show that in a different color, for example, in that dashboard. Another example would be, let me look at this graphically in terms of how busy was my store at a certain period of time, as you can see in the very left top here, in the very right top here. In the middle, we have this blue line, which we call Footpath Analysis. It's basically how people moves on your store. With that, you can take better decisions. Maybe they are moving more in this area because you have the most interesting products in that area. What if you want to put other products here? Maybe you can take those kind of different decisions. And last but not least, you can see those little areas colored in green. It means exactly online how many people we have on each of those areas, if they are busy, if they are not, and you can take advantage of that. You can go back in time to look how it was, and it's a great and powerful feature available with Meraki cameras. The way it works is Meraki cameras only send information, in this case to a partner who builds all that dashboard and pretty much customize according to what you say. to them, right? And that's only one use case. There are many more use cases you can build up for your business, and that's what we call the intelligence on the Meraki cameras. So with no further delay, let's run the same flow, but now what I call a day in the life with Meraki cameras, right? So Marcello starts his day the same way. He was called by the technology manager the same way to help look for a solution to address those 4 pain points that I mentioned before. On the very first pain point, which is about decentralized solution, about management, if you remember, I would like to show you very quickly how we do that, and we address that. Okay, here you have the Meraki dashboard for that company. I'm looking at the US here. We only actually have 2 sites in St. Louis. Okay, we have one site called Building 60 and the other one 56. So one single pane of glass. I'm looking at US, but I could be looking at, you know, the same dashboard, many other countries, many other sites. And I can see online that Building 60, for example, is red because it might be having problem with some kind of device or cameras that might be offline, for instance. Rather than on Building 56, we have all good here, so no problem, right? So I'm showing you looking at the web browser. So if you look here, I have a link where I access it. When I access this link, it's gonna ask me for username and password, and I'll have access to my dashboard. It means that only the ones who owns the username and password will have access to the right dashboard, to the right camera. So don't worry about security. So I would have all listed here, all the sites, everything. I'm looking at United States, but I could be having thousands of buildings here. I could you know, group them in a different way, call that APAC region, call that Americas region, or call that Europe region, whatever you want, and you can customize it. Another way that I would like to show you is doing the same thing, but rather in my mobile phone. So here I'm logged in my mobile phone. Here you see the Meraki application, which I'm going to open. What's gonna bring to me is exactly the same view that I have here, but on my mobile. Of course, it changes slightly, but most of the features and things are available here. So what I see here is exactly the same, Building 56. So if I go look here, we have a nice dashboard. Everything looks fine. We have 8 devices on that site. So let's look at what are those devices. Click on see all. So we have cameras, we have the sensors. So let's look at the cameras, which we're talking about here, right? So if I click here on camera 1, it's gonna bring up online what's going on at this camera right now. So this is a live streaming. I'm seeing exactly what's happening right now at this camera. This camera is connected to switch 1 port 2 in that site. Okay, everything looks good. So I can start looking at some specifics on the mobile app. So if I look at details, I see the model of the camera, the IP address, I can see the software version which is up to date. I can see the location here. If I switch to the tools, I can see a lot of good tools from my mobile phone that I could be using whatever I am. If I'm out in a weekend on a shopping mall with my family, for instance, taking a coffee or having lunch, and someone call me, hey, there is a problem with this site, can you help troubleshoot? Oh, for sure, I can just look at my mobile and start doing some tests. So I can do some ping. So let me ping the camera to see if it's really up and running. So let me click here on the start. So I just start pinging the camera. So it looks fine, great, it's responding, right? So let me stop. So I can do all the other tests I want. I can click on blink LEDs. What's gonna happen is once I click here, if there is someone on site that I need some physical intervention, we'll be able to look at, suppose you have not only one camera, but I don't know, 100 cameras. Which camera are we talking about? And those cameras might be close to the other, right? I can even reboot the camera remotely. I can look at the logs. There are many things that happen. Actually, it transitioned to night mode transition, which is actually changes the way it views. But anyway, what I would like to show you is that with that solution, you're able to manage from wherever you are. Okay, from a mobile phone. The tablet has its own version as well. But basically, the very first pain point, which is about access anywhere, is already addressed with this solution. That's what I would like to show you. So the second pain point that we have about having too many Lego pieces on the existing CFTV solution, as I already spoke about, Meraki is really easy. You just need the camera, the piece of hardware which comes with embedded storage. You can record all your images on-prem, you can record in the cloud, and it's all there for you. And you just need to connect that camera to an internet connection in your company, and you're all set. You don't need anything else. You don't need to manage anything. You just need to access through your web browser, which I just show you. Third point, about operations. There are many things I can talk about operations here, and I'll start by here. So looking at the same building we are actually troubleshooting, right? If I would like to click here on the topology over that building 56, what I can see here, and it's live, it's all green. It means that we have 3 cameras connected to one switch, which provides connectivity to those cameras, and the switch is connected to the internet. Okay, so you see it's all green. It means that there is no problem with any of those cameras. Let me look at one of those cameras. Let's look at this camera, camera 2. It's gonna bring up the image live of the camera, and what I will do here is I will look at one very good and specific thing on that camera, which is about what we call motion search. Is one nice feature that can help you to identify if there is a movement in a specific quadrant, as I mentioned before. So it's a live camera, as you can see. What I'll do is I'll click on motion search and I'll look at this door to see if there was any kind of movement. If I go back, it's supposed to give me some results, which there is, oh, actually there are 2 results here, right? So it means that in this period of time, that's actually put automatically for me from 8:33 a.m. up to now, actually, right? But actually up to this time, which did not is not happening right now. We are here, right? We had 2 movements, which you can see actually those little yellow things here, right? If I want to bring up one of those 2 little movement, one actually lasts 6 seconds, right? And the other one 12 seconds. Let's get this one 6 seconds. Okay, now it's gonna bring exactly this 6.7 seconds period of time already recorded and available for you. So I did not need to look at that. You know, it started recording exactly at the point where it hit the quadrant that I put here, the door, right, up to the point where the movement ended. Okay, so I can see this guy came from internal here and then got out here through that door, right? What I can see here is I can click on the download image. It's gonna take a snapshot and download direct to my laptop. Second, I can click export, which I'm actually doing right now. It's gonna start here exporting this video, and when it's done, it's gonna be available for me to download. But if I go back to that video, I can click on play video and it's gonna bring me exactly to the same 6 seconds. So if I pause here, I see the person just hitting the door. If I click here motion blocks, oh, this is a very cool view. You can see more or less what were the path that this person actually used during that video, right? So if I play the rest of the video, I'll see exactly the movement here, which is really cool, right? So I can do the same for whatever camera I have. They all have the same capabilities. So I'm talking about the MV22X, but all the cameras has the same capability, and that's where we add value in terms of intelligence. Okay, so let me switch to another situation. which I think is very useful. So let me go back to the cameras, all the cameras I have on the site 56. I'll go to the camera 1 instead this time. So if I click on the camera 1, while it's actually it's a different one, it's an outside camera, okay, getting the parking lot view. So what I'll do this time is I'll click on analytics, which again it comes embedded in the Meraki solution. You don't need to activate or do anything extra. You just install the camera, get connected to the internet, and it's all there. Okay, so in that camera I can look for person or vehicle. Let's look for vehicle since it's on a parking lot, right? Okay, I can look at the backing time on the day we are. Let me look at the around 1 a.m. in the morning. What was that movement? So let me click here. It's gonna open up exactly to that recorded time frame, which I see some movement in the yellow. So what I'll do is if I click 1, 2, 1, 2 or 3, I can speed up the camera. So let me speed up to 4 times. I click on number 3 here. It's gonna go close to the where it happened, but now it's very close, so I'll go back to 1 again. I click 1. Oh, look there, there is something coming up there, right? So we see exactly at this point. Okay, let me pause. You see 2 movements. One in this, actually it identifies 1 move, but it also considers this as a car. That's why I put 2, and that's exactly what I wanted to see, right? So that was really cool, right? That was really cool because I could identify, and Meraki actually did all the job for me. I can do the same. I can click share here. I can share internally the link with this video recorded frame. I can export the same as I did before. I can do many things as I wish. So this is only 2 examples of what we can do with Meraki. Let me switch back again. So the pain point number 3, in terms of operations, I just show you motion cap, and people vehicle detection, but I could be showing a lot of other things that Meraki is capable of doing. Okay. And the last pain point I would like to talk a little bit about is about business disruption. With that, if I switch here, the way it works is the cameras installed on those sites are sending data information, video streaming to the Meraki cloud, right? But in this case, I choose one of the main partners that we have, which is called VApp, and on their cloud website, which is this site, I configure it also to receive Meraki's streaming video and data, to start putting some analytics and business insights together, so I can take different decisions across my business. So with that, let me begin by here. So if I click on Boston, what I'll be able to see is, okay, I have those cameras in Boston. Okay, so those 4 cameras here, they are all collecting data live. It means that they are sending data to VApp cloud, and the VApp cloud with this nice dashboard, but behind the scenes we have a lot of AI machine learning working and generating all those nice dashboards that you can see. Each of those cameras giving me different use cases: vehicle detection, occupancy, face analysis, mask detection, people counting, social distance, footpath analysis. The ones I would like to explore a little bit today here is on the camera number 3 here. Let me click here, and I will show some of those great analytics. It comes back exactly to the same example I gave you guys. So if you look at that, here we have one little dashboard that we put together. This part specifically looks for what we call live presence by area. If you look at these areas, I did that. I made that drawing. You can do your own drawing if you wish, according to your environment. But basically what we did is we created 2 main areas to see what were the main areas, or what were the products that got more attention, because if it's more busy, it means the products got more attention, right? And we did that together. So this is live. You can see in percentage that the area 2 is the most interesting one for our customers. Okay, right in the right side here, you can see by a kind of a heat map according to how it is today. More than that, what you can see, some of the statistics. If I look at today max presence by area, I can look at that and say, hey, maybe area 3 during the day was the area that got more attention, right? And out of area is all the areas not covered by those drawings. Okay. More than that, if I look at today's hourly max presence, I can look at most busiest hour according to this nice graphic and the occupation. Okay, this is just one example, okay, of a great analytics that it can be provided and can be built by the partner ecosystem that we have. And in the end of the day, on your environment, you don't need to do anything. It's already there. The cameras are doing all the job. If I click on the other one, it's Footpath Analysis, the other use case that I like to talk a little bit about. So what you see here is, this is a different thing. Footpath analysis means how people moves across your store. You see those blue lines here? It's because there are more movements on those specific areas. With that, what you can do is you can give those kind of data and dashboard to your business units, person in charge, and then they can realize and look, okay, maybe those products are the most are the ones that call more attention to the public, right? What if I would like to promote other kinds of product? I could take different actions here, right? I could put together with those that are more successful, I could put some additional products and try to leverage that way. On the right side here, we see how many people we see going from those areas. You see a kind of a B graphic, and you see it's a very cool analytics that you can provide to your customers or to your internal business leads. So this is what we call the intelligence with the AI and machine learning. And last but not least, this is pretty much what I would like to show you guys today. And with that said, what I would like to say is that Meraki is there. It looks like only a simple camera, but it is not. It gives you much insight, much business outcomes, and I think that it's gonna add a big value in the market in a different way. So with that, I would like to end this video, and hopefully you got the idea and it's gonna be useful for you. So thank you very much for your time, and see you in the next video.